and welcome to the Q Today show for May 1st to May 4th. I'm Allison Detty, one of your hosts for this program.
Hi, and I'm your other host, Mitch Vick. Later in the show, we've got a clip from our own Char VanKoughnut. She gives us a Let's Talk FASD, so stay tuned for that, and after the news.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
Before we get into the news also, we just want to thank you for watching and remind you that our weekday show runs from Tuesday at 5 p.m. until Friday at 8 a.m. and our weekend show from Friday at 5 p.m. until Tuesday at 8 a.m. And we broadcast every day at 8 a.m., 5 p.m., and 10 p.m.
If you have any comments on the program, you can reach us by email at qtoday@qcatv.ca. If you'd like some information on how to sponsor us, or come and join us, perhaps, give Nate a call at 250-992-3650. And as always, thanks to the Quesnel Caribou Observer for providing some of our news stories.
Okay, we just give the highlights here on Q Today. If you want to get the full details on some of the stories that we do here, you can get your copy of the Quesnel Caribou Observer. And now over to Mitch for some news.
Thanks, Allison.
You bet.
So first off, we're going to talk about the city project, which is ongoing now, called Our Quesnel. It's the sustainability project, and it's off to a great start. The project is intended to get the community talking about its future. What will the year 2040 look like if Quesnel becomes sustainable? This means that Quesnel's foundation, its environment, economy, and community can remain constant and continue into the far future. About 60 people attended Friday night's General Assembly, followed by another 60 who attended the workshops on Saturday. Small focus groups looked at many aspects of sustainability, including the land use, food, energy, water, social life, health, and many other facets of life in our future community. Now, the results of these discussions will be reviewed by the Sustainability Task Force. When completed, all aspects of the city's planning will be seen through the lens of sustainability. And I had the opportunity to attend the morning session on Saturday. It was extremely well organized and really good, meaningful conversation about a vision for the future. So I was really happy to participate. My wife came with me and met some great people who were like-minded, and we had some great ideas. So I'll be looking to see how they synthesized all of our information into a coherent sustainability plan.
So will they be putting something out there to sort of let us know what their take on it was?
The organizer of the, or the chair, indicated there'd be a website set up, and they would be putting the data on that as it was prepared, properly and efficiently.
Good. So hopefully we'll have some updates on that.
I think we should be planning on the show that this is going to be a process that's going to continue for a while, and we'll give updates on the show on that.
Great. Thanks, Mitch. So the Corlew Players are presenting The Wedding Singer, based on the movie made popular by Adam Sandler. That'll be this week, May 2nd to the 5th at Chuck Mobley Theatre. The doors open at 6:30 p.m. with performance starting at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at Bliss, Bo Peep Boutique, Quesnel Music, and the Corlew Box Office. They are $10 for adults, $8 for students and seniors, and this one is parental guidance suggested for that.
I see.
So.
As I recall, the movie was also of the same
same nature,
caliber and nature. Yeah. Good movie though. I'm sure it'll be a great play.
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job.
Yeah. So next up, we have some news from the city, and I've got some news to report. Council approved $745,000 contract to Jensen Drilling. And what's significant about this is it's the first step in the West Quesnel Land Stability Project. It involves drilling of 9 horizontal wells, and obviously there's still other wells to be drilled, the vertical wells, and the city also plans to install a better, larger storm drain at Stork and Hawk intersection. So that's exciting to see that project getting going and actually boots on the ground. Very good. The RCMP contract was also renewed for 2012, where our municipality will pay 70% of the costs, which is appropriate based on our population. The budget made room for a full complement of 21 officers and a slight pay increase for members. Also, a new deputy fire chief was appointed. His name is Mike Russell, and the city welcomes him to his new post, and he starts officially at that capacity on April 30th. The city also gave the first 3 readings to its 5-year financial and tax rate bylaws, which will see residential tax rates increase 3.3%. And then lastly, I'll report 2 trips to Asia are planned by our city. The first is a mayoral trip, and Mayor Schuster will be heading to China, and her visit will center on economic development. The second trip planned is to Japan, and it will see the mayor, members of council, and the economic development team participating. They will travel to Shirawi, which is of course our twin city, and they will be traveling to other sites as well as visiting sites that were affected by the tsunami. This trip was paid for by the Asia Pacific Twinning Grant. So that's some of our stories from the city.
That would be interesting to go back a little more than a year later and see some of the areas devastated by that tsunami.
Absolutely, and just one little footnote. I was on CBC News, they reported a motorcycle in a container washed up on Haida Gwaii yesterday, and
Really?
a motorcycle in a container from the tsunami. So the debris field
Wow.
is starting to approach us.
And I think that's a surprise, because I think they were saying it was supposed to be like another year or so before we started seeing some of the debris from
Yeah.
that. So that's
So
a
already
lot sooner
started.
than expected.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Okay, moving along, as of May 1st, Quesnel will add a new business to its repertoire. Reason to Run, Quesnel's new running and athletic wear store, will be opening on Reed Street across from Safeway. Owner Candice Miller has been passionate about running since 1995, and she dreamed of opening a running specialty store for almost 10 years. She says anyone can start running, and for whatever reason, adding participation in a running event is confirmation that people of all sizes, shapes, ages, and abilities can participate. Reason to Run is a place where people can get advice on what type of shoe they should be wearing for the type of running that they do. And they'll also be carrying accessories for running, including running and cross-training footwear, apparel, and sportswear. They also will carry a variety of sports bras and accessories including water bottles, hydration belts, watches, and energy products. That's Candice Miller, the owner, is inviting the public to drop by 424A Reed Street and have a chat about your running needs, check out the store, and just see what she has to offer there. So if you're into running, and I think sports in general, might be something you might want to check out.
That's a great, it's a great business venture. Good for her. I think
Well,
there's a need for that in
She
town.
mentioned in the article that when she was training for a marathon, she had a lot of foot problems and wasn't able to find somebody who could really help her figure out the type of shoe that she should be wearing. It was sort of a trial and error process for her. So that was when she started thinking it would be great to open up this kind of business and be able to help other people out there and not have to go through a lot of the foot problems if she can help them
That's great.
determine what shoe would be good for them. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so it sounds
fantastic.
good.
Great to hear. So we also have some more news to report today from the CRD. The CRD is resubmitting a resolution to the UBCM, which is the Union of British Columbia Municipalities, seeking funding for consultations between First Nations and local governments. The consultation process can be expensive, and these funds would help offset these costs. The CRD and the city received letters from the Heart and Stroke Foundation encouraging both to implement a smoke-free outdoor public places bylaw. It has to do with the protection from secondhand smoke in public places which are outside. Also, the Caribou-Chilcotin Regional Hospital District will be requesting the North Central Local Government Association to arrange dedicated healthcare meetings with both health authorities to investigate and focus on the retention of medical professionals in the region and other issues pertaining to health. Lastly, the 50th anniversary of Cedar Point Park is approaching, and the CRD has authorized $800 to purchase banners which will hang for the year in the park commemorating the milestone. So a little news from the CRD.
Where's Cedar Point Park, Mitch?
I was honestly trying to figure that out. I love getting out in the outdoors, and I have yet to be to that park, and this is going to be a perfect excuse for me to get out there and check it out.
Let me know on that, because you know what? I've lived in the area my whole life, and I can't say that I've heard of that one.
I do believe it's west of the city,
Okay.
and it's certainly been on on some older park maps that I've seen. It's been there for 50 years, so it's definitely something to see, and I will gladly report back once I get there.
Sounds good. Thanks for that. So local resident Wiley Bidestead submitted an article in the Observer recently on a seed swap that's taking place in conjunction with the Earth and Agricultural event being held Sunday, May the 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the College of New Caledonia. What is a seed swap? Because I wasn't too sure. Just exactly what it sounds like. According to Wikipedia, seed swaps are events where gardeners meet to exchange seeds. Pretty basic. They also help consumers who, due to increases in the cost of living or those wishing to cut down on expenditures, grow their own food. One of the objectives of the organizers of our local seed swap is to also start a seed bank, which is a place to keep and record seeds. It ensures that the variety is maintained by keeping viable seeds on hand of all varieties of plants collected. The event is free, and it's designed to both educate and unite people who are experienced in gardening, as well as those who are just beginning to dig in the earth. They will also have a children's play area and a video presentation available for the whole event. So go and check that out if you're into gardening and swapping seeds, and it sounds like they'll have a variety of other activities going on there also.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, something different.
For sure. I wonder if one can go there and not swap seeds and maybe purchase seeds?
I don't know. It didn't say in the article if you can go and actually purchase seeds or not. But it definitely is open to the public to go and check it out.
So it makes sense that they would have something like that.
Specifically just for people to go and swap seeds, from what I understood.
Well, I just got my greenhouse ready to go, so I need some seeds, so I'll be there.
Check it out.
Perfect.
Let us know.
So next story here is going on a sports tract. We're talking about cricket. And cricket, not so famous in our neck of the woods, but extremely popular in parts of Asia and Europe, obviously, specifically Britain. And so cricket. The cricket club in town is starting up for the first Sunday in May and is looking for players to join in. Cricket is described as, it's like baseball, sort of, with a couple extra rules. You get runs and you hit a ball. Offensively, you have a pitch and 2 batters are standing in front of a wicket. Defensively, you have 11 players in the field and a bowler. If the bowler hurls the ball and hits the wicket, the batter is out. If the batter hits the ball, the batter and the other batter switch places, which causes a run to score. So I'm not sure if I've explained that totally correctly, but that's the essence of cricket. For more information on cricket and cricket pertaining to Quesnel, you can give Bangu a call at 992-3262 or Kieran at 992-7929. And I can only imagine, just based on hearing how popular it is in India and other countries, it sounds like a really exciting sport.
Yeah.
And
I've just seen it on a really small scale, seen them stepping up to hit the ball and stuff like that, and I've always wondered how it sort of works. It looks really interesting.
Well, just from the same footage I've sort of seen, they hurl this ball at you at 100 miles an hour, and it's not so you can hit it like a baseball. It's on the ground, so it seems really challenging.
It bounces or something before you hit it,
Yeah, because they're trying to hit that little wooden, it's called the wicket. It's just behind the batter, and if that's what they're aiming for, they're aiming on the ground. So that's why they have such a big paddle to whack at it.
You should go and check it out for us, Mitch.
Right on, yeah.
Cricket.
It sounds exciting.
All right, also in sports, Quesnel youth did very well a couple of weekends ago at the Williams Lake Indoor Rodeo. Brett Wills, Lane Wills, and Ricky Hutniak, all from Quesnel, placed first, second, and third respectively in the junior barrel racing event, while 2/3 of the junior steer riding podium were also occupied by youth from the Gold Pan City. Dustin Pierce took top honors, with Clay Watercrease sneaking into third. The younger kids got into the action as well. Dyson Leneve took second in the barrel racing for his age group. My little nephew, proud to say, yes, he was so pleased with himself. And the adults also came in the running also. Clayton Honeyburn took the first spot in tie-down roping, while Jody Coe roped her way to the top. Bull riding, Matt O'Flynn managed to hold on for second, while Gary Nicholson teamed up with Glenn Brown from Crofton to tie for third. It sounded like a really fun event.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Good to see that even the youngsters getting right in there.
It is. I actually go out and I watch Gymkhana occasionally, a couple times through the season, and some of the rodeo stuff, because my niece and my nephew are both in it and they do quite well. So it's fun to watch. It's a great sport. wasn't really that involved much before my niece and nephew got involved, but now I love it. I really like going and watching.
Well, it's certainly relevant to our area and with ranching and whatnot, so.
Yeah, and I'm a lover of any animal, so yeah, to be able to go out and see some of the horses and stuff too, it's fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, as promised, next up we've got Char VanKoughnut with a new segment of Let's Talk FASD. Take it away, Char.
So welcome to Let's Talk FASD. I'm Char VanKoughnut. I have a resource library out of the Native Friendship Center. I do outreach work in the community, and that means that I go out and I educate and I do presentations wherever I'm invited. And just recently I was in Vancouver at a conference on FASD and adults in the justice system, and I picked up a book down there to bring back to the resource library that I have, and it's called The Mystery of Risk. It is written by Ira J. Chasnoff, who is actually a president of Children's Research Triangle and a professor of clinical pediatrics at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Chicago. He is one of the nation's leading researchers in the field of alcohol exposure and illicit drugs, and that's why I actually picked this book, because we often forget about other drugs that are introduced to the developing fetus other than just alcohol, such as marijuana, cocaine, smoking, just even the environment we live in, maybe even pollution and other teratogenics. So I thought it would be really neat just to explain to you a little bit about what that looks like for a developing fetus. And some of the questions I get is, when is the most damage done if drinking during pregnancy? So I grabbed the book and I thought, I think the best thing I can do is just read a little bit from the book so that you know that it is coming from a reliable source, and it's actually quite interesting. So I'm just going to read you a piece here that introduces what it looks like for a mother who may be consuming alcohol during development of the fetus. So about 12 to 13 days is the period where the embryo is resistant because of being implanted on the wall of the uterus. So no blood or substances from the mother can reach the embryo. However, risk of death of the embryo from toxin agents ingested by the mother is greatest just before implantation. So in the beginning, about 18 to 20 days after conception, however, the fetus is highly susceptible to negative influences, reaching peak sensitivity by 30 days and ending at about 55 to 60 days. During this period, there is also a high risk of fetal death from environmental toxins. Unfortunately, this is a time during which many women do not even realize they are pregnant. And that is the main concern that I get is moms or women coming to me saying, well, I drank, a couple of weeks and then I found out I was pregnant. Like, how much damage have I done? So again, the message I like to give right then and there is, as long as you abstain today and be as healthy as you can be, because really, we know this stuff. However, we can't say exactly at this time, how much, damage is being actually done at that time. But this will give you an idea as to what that may look like. So as organs development is completed, in the first trimester, susceptibility to anatomical defects diminishes greatly, but during the third trimester of pregnancy, toxic agents can modify function of specific organs or induce other effects such as cell deletions or interference with tissue growth. In fact, the third trimester of pregnancy is one of the most rapid periods of brain growth throughout the human lifespan, and agents such as alcohol can have a tremendous adverse impact on brain growth and development during this time. So again, this just lets us know that it's really important that if we have been drinking or drugging and we find that we are now pregnant, then to abstain from any toxins introduced into the body that may affect the developing fetus. So again, you have some pictures up there that kind of showed you what that looked like through that development. And I'm hoping that this was interesting enough for you to maybe give me a call or email me and ask me some more questions, and I can bring them back here and I can talk about it and I can answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I definitely will find the answer. And I'm hoping that you will access the resource and really actually read the book along with other books that Dr. Chesnoff has written. Very easy read, very easy to understand. And so thank you. So again, there is no safe amount of alcohol, and drugs and other toxins in the environment may be a factor to developmental effects of a fetus. So just be as healthy as you can be, and support women around you. And again, it takes a community to raise a child. So thank you for being here on Let's Talk FASD.
That's powerful stuff, Char. Thank you for bringing that to us. And moving along, we're going to get to our photo of the day, which comes to us once again courtesy of
Dave Sunday.
Good guess.
He's quite the photographer, that guy, isn't he?
And he's out and about in the community an awful lot. And we really do appreciate that he sends us these photos when he's out. So last weekend he was out and about and took some great pictures of the Special Olympics bake sale for Relay for Life. And in the pictures are Sherry Swan, Glenda Meldachuk, Marg Meldachuk, and a friend of theirs. Thanks again, Dave. And if you don't want to see Dave win all of these great golf privilege books, you need to start sending in your pictures. We've got some for our first draw that's coming up soon. We mentioned it on our last show, and we want to remind you, get your pictures, local pictures, into our photo contest here at Q Today. The sponsorship comes from the Lung Association of BC, and we're giving away this great book, like I said, the Golf Privilege Club for 2012. And that will be given away weekly in a draw of submitted photos. So this book normally sells for $35. It's a great book with savings from golf courses all over BC. There's golf courses as far east as Manitoba, down south into Washington State, and also both Quesnel golf courses are featured in this book with some savings. Even if you're not a golfer, I'm sure you know someone who is a golfer, don't we all? Mm-hmm. And it would make a fantastic gift if you're not a golfer yourself. Mother's Day, Father's Day is coming up. So get your photos into us here at Q Today at qcatv.ca, and maybe you'll win one of these great books.
Perfect.
All right, so now we're going to move on to our community calendar and see what's happening locally.
Well, that's it for this show, folks. If you would like to give us any feedback or tips on any news you would think we should be covering here at Q Today, you can contact us by email at qtoday@qcatv.ca. If you would like to be a sponsor or volunteer, you can also give Nate a shout at 992-3650, or call the station and leave a message for John McKenzie at 992-8363.
Remember, Q Today is produced by QMag, the Quesnel Media Access Group. You can also watch us on the internet on Quesnel Community Access TV. The website is qcatv.ca, and it's run by our colleague and friend Eddie D'Souza.
Thanks again for watching. Remember, our purpose is to get Quesnel talking.
Bye for now.